Island. My team also covers Southeast Massachusetts. Again, welcome. This is our second seminar in Rhode Island this year. Planning a third later in the year. I want to welcome you today. It's out there, so we know how it is to get pulled in a few hours. So I appreciate everyone attending. I'll speak for a few minutes and try to keep it brief, but then we'll run through the interconnection process. I'm going to talk about the recent DG legislation that was passed and provide some insight on some of the tariff updates that have taken place. Have a break till 10 over 10. We'll go through the impact studies, projects, the regrowth program, shed, solar, and community remote net metering pilot, solar watch program that's in effect, and some of the changes that are coming with that program. Growth and net metering first bill walkthrough process, and Joe talked about the application portal that is being implemented later this year. And then we'll answer questions and Q&A. Safety is paramount for all of our employees and also our customers and the general public. So we start most of our meetings with a safe message. It's not over yet. It's a little cool this morning, so it feels like we're on the tail end of it, but it's still important to use sunscreen. Fly open if you're outside in the beach or even if you're working in the hanging out on the deck. From when I was a kid, the beach is a lot different nowadays. I can remember everyone was putting baby oil on. Get burned is what resulted. But today it's important. Safe sun time is literally 10 minutes, so it's important to apply the sunscreen. Okay, if we're not planning the alarm sound, the best exit is straight behind us, straight through area and out onto our line platform and gather in the parking lot, straight out the building. Restrooms out here, take a left, and then some ladies are out that way. Mobile phones, if you haven't done so already, I know I haven't put mine on silent yet. Put it on vibrate or turn it off. And I want to introduce those from National Grid that are present. And I think it's probably best for everyone to self-introduction, starting with Alex.
I'm Alex Triakos. I manage the complex interconnections in Massachusetts. I am an analyst for the team, and I do work in Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
A number of folks over here in the back, so it's important that everyone speaks up. Omar, would you like to start?
Yeah, I'm Omar Jerry, and my requirement is that the regulatory side of the house or the company brings the DT and
Military.
Again, I want to thank the National Grid team. It takes a lot to put these seminars together, logistics coordination, and I just want to point out to Colin Walker, who handled this much on his own, and early cats to get all the information together, and sometimes that can be difficult. So for that, organized Shona Thielen is here from the Office of Spending Resources. We enjoy their support for all the programs that National Grid is offering, and their participation and help with those programs and getting the word out. Also, last but not least, George. Which facilitates all the simplified applications. Get that a bit. Okay. You can from these charts, this is receiving the interconnection applications received. New England, you can see where Massachusetts, largely, we try to, Rhode Island, trying to do that inferiority complex, but sometimes it does occur. Besides Massachusetts, the open land in the western part of the state, a lot of activity over the last few years. Rhode Island, though, see when we get to the Rhode Island slides. This chart here runs between complex applications and simplified. Even year-to-date, about 1,400 applications represent almost 220 megawatts of renewable energy, distributed energy resources, which is incredible. The activity levels have dramatically over the last couple of years. You can see that just from this chart, running from 2015, roughly 200 applications. Last year, we're up about 1,200. Year to date, we're up at roughly 1,400. So it's been a lot. We've, we're seeing what we're seeing is, standalone, independent power producers, very increased numbers of applications received, and also very large facility size. 5 megawatts is not unusual. Just received a couple applications the other day. Located, but both applications were for 8 megawatts. It's a challenge for National Grid, and we'll talk about that when we get again. Speaks to the impact study for the larger applications. Okay, with that, and then we'd like to keep it informal, so if there are questions, raise your hand. Be sure to speak up, because Alex and Colin record. We have a number of people that are conferencing. We record meeting, and we do post it to, starting to post it to YouTube. We'll make the slide deck available. We'll send that out to all of the attendees and those that are on the invite list after today. Info, raise your hand if you have a question, but please speak up, and that way we can pick it up on the microphone. I did introduce Pat Michelitis. She's the facilitator in Rhode Island, and she's also the area lead. Played an important role in Rhode Island, and I just want to recognize that.
Okay, so I'm going to go over the DG process. So there are basically two types of DG connectors, the behind the meter and the direct connect. The behind the meter, they're partially or full supplies of on-site load. The electricity is exported back to the distribution company, basically either go backwards or really go backwards, but majority. The direct connect, supply, load is being supplied. It is directly to the distribution. Sure, what govern us in the connection. have, we have the distribution standard tariff, we have, our regrowth tariff, we have our net metering tariff, and those are tariffs that govern what we do. This process is basically for the safety of our utility workers, because you're putting export to our line, and we need to ensure that our safe and public use. Want to know adverse impacts to the power quality in terms of islanding, transient voltage, noise, harmonics, frequency. And further, customers cannot interconnect without an interconnection agreement. You get your own risk. I think everybody here is familiar with that. And the implications, because if we do not put the right meter in, here will go forward. So either you're generating, the meter does not go backwards, our meters are not programmed to do that. They will continue to go forward, so it looks like load. So the actually getting the benefit of it. We start with the pre-application report. We have to provide all of the information for us to do this. The data size, the standalone, the service, minimum and maximum site load. Does the service need to be upgraded? How is the impact on the meter? We supply back is the circuit and the voltage that the customer, the load is going to be serviced off of, whether it's three-phase, what load is active right now, feeders, what's being requested, so you'll know how much is already in them and how much is being requested, and other constraints that are for that feeder, where you're potentially interconnected. Yeah, pre-application. Yeah. Okay. Every application, so we can make sure that it is a complete application, and then we get to what Tim is be explaining. We need to make sure everything we have up front to start the whole process, because there is specific times that we are held to with tariffs. To be signed, it needs to be dated, the generator information, application. So for projects that are over. Yeah, it is required for those. You can request a pre-application for any that is below the 500. The action fee, we have to make sure we have that before we can provide any information and move that application to the next step. We have stamps on one line, the diagram, any supplemental information, and if you're doing a net metering, you have to have a schedule here. The information, as it says, the documentation stop the clock. We want to make sure that we have all this information right up front. The electronic also. Three paths. You have the simplified, you have the expedited, and you have the standard. Less than 15 kW single phase, less than 25 kW three phase. Are the timelines that we covered in? It's all part of the tariff, so we work through all of the individual lines that we are held to timelines with accepting the application, information back. We are supposed to greater than 15 kW single phase. kW, three-phase. Again, the number of days that we have to reply to for the screening for the application, receipt of the application, and there are days that we are supposed to is for the larger projects, and that will do basically an impact study. the specific timeline for up to 135, 106 days for the whole process that we need to meet to get sort of the grant. These are, again, the large scale photovoltaic and hydros, and all of these considered to be part of the standard review. What you do with the takeaway is get the application in early when you submit it, because then it will help all the steps to go way forward for you. Which type of 250 feet of for the regrowth program, would it be for net metering? It would be the which
Yes. That's the only thing. Again, they're going to be, actually, when you ask a question, they stand up. They pronunciate a little bit. Okay, you're up front. You're also pick it up on the mic. But this is a Rhode Island seminar all about. And if you need it, Sarah, is Renewable Energy Growth Program. And it's was looking at right now as different areas or on this road. Yeah.
program. You can't have two that are. You can only have the one. You could do 1 by 100, but you can't have two.
You have a regrowth
A meter.
and a net metering top. They could have 2 meters, but waste facility can only accommodate 260 kilowatts. They out of the acres.
The distribution.
Can't go with that. There's, it's very, 20 watt. But you have to, 1,000, 100. Right, we could. We have 2 different systems, 2 different meters, one for regrowth, one for, or, you know, if you wanted to get to you could, there's a time, okay, 250 gets the fixed price, 20-something cents. And over 250, you got a bid. Right, so you can make sure people are usually chopping up the projects, getting money, which will we do, all comes out. Our programs, they come up with, just supposed to have together. Added detail, our website, has all that information, has tariff information, all the details of the different programs.
So there's one that meter. me. These are the people that actually do the distributed generation in Massachusetts and in Rhode Island. There's the contact name, the contact telephone numbers. So we'll be sending out this slide to everyone so you will have those. And again, our main website, which is distributed.generation@nationalgrid.com.
Yeah. So there is a wide variety of programs in Island that most states don't have. One of the things that we'll talk about net metering is, obviously there's a requirement on net metering that you can't net meter more than your annual. You can't generate more than your annual. That's how it doesn't do. There has been expansion in law recently around net metering. There's always the opportunity up until July 1st that cities and towns could provide virtual net metering credits to some of their other accounts. In other words, they could have a farm on a particular parcel that they under control. They could then transfer those credits, virtual net metering, to all of their homes within the town they had. In Massachusetts, net metering up there, anyone can do that. But in Rhode Island was always originally only out for cities and towns. That's been extended to include educational institutions, hospitals, and the federal government here in Rhode Island, so that hospital or school system, private or public, has solar array and allocate credits to all their different accounts they have. But the fact holds true. You can't available net metering if your yield of energy that you're going to credit those bills is less or equal to what that project is going to create for in dollars, right? Once you build a project, megawatt project or whatever else, and your net metering, right, it's going to get converted to dollars every month based on the actual production in that month, and then those dollars are then allocated on a percentage basis to each one of the off-takers. What schedule B. It's really important that you do your math right? At the end of the day, you have to do a check for any excess. So, with significant problems with virtual net metering in both New York and their program, Massachusetts, and predict, unfortunately, we'll see the same thing in Rhode Island. People aren't doing the math right. You have a school system, you get 5 schools, and one school uses, and you add all those bills up. And 20% of the total, one school's 40% of the total, that percentage you want to allocate to those accounts. And people aren't doing that. I don't know what's going on. We have actually yellow lights up in Massachusetts with $250 credits sitting on. Not only the math. It's pretty sad. There's not a lot to it. You look 3 years bills and all the rest of it. And unfortunately, we have to think about what bills might be in the future. Where the commodity market in New England is gone haywire, so some of the components of the bill, the credits, are actually higher than they've been in the past, and will be higher for going forward. So on one hand, it's great because it provides additional credit. On the other hand, it does cause a challenge because our credits are based on what we call the standard offer. Just brief, so. Electric was restructured 20 years ago, so NetGrid is just the delivery people. You just power from point A to point B. We don't own plants, we don't sell energy. And so any customer in Rhode Island can buy their energy from any competitive energy supplier out there. Because what that rate is lower than standard offer. So there's that disconnect too. So it's really important to do everything in dollars, not kilowatt hours. That's one key change in the law. The other is the extension of the regrowth program. We're in the 10 years on the 400 megawatts, which is business as usual. We've been running 40 megawatts a year for that for quite some time, so it's not going to be a big change. For us, certainly, and hopefully for the system as well. In that program where the generation is all its own meter, different than net metering, where generation is behind the customer's revenue meter. If you recall, has meter just for the output of the generation. Again, on statute, and that we invented, it's something that we just have to enforce. So the will also be, because of these changes in legislation, we are filing changes to the interconnection tariff. We're sometime mid to late next week. Those changes will try to bring the tariff up to date. One of the things in the tariff today is there's an application fee for small projects, residential. And due to the volume of those projects, we'll propose an application fee for those. In many cases, we proposed it of $20, and that was approved by the regulator up there. Who knows what the Rhode Island PUC will do, but that's one likely change that will happen. The other change is also just the generic application fees for other projects. We're looking to get more thing through that. They haven't been covering our costs, and it's usually pretty specific in most states that whoever causes the cost should pay for it. So that's where there's a lot of emphasis to make sure in the D world, if you want to sell DG, you should be paying all the costs. And that's where we're proposing those increased application fees here in Rhode Island as well. And again, it's up to the Rhode Island PUC to approve or reject. Hoping to have something in front of the PUC, like I say, mid next week. Some other, and a lot of clarifying issues. To read some pages of the interconnection tariff, and there's things we do want to kind of clean up in there as we work with customers and see to make things better and easier for us. That, I don't know if there's questions about the tariff, but who's up next? Nonprofits are included. Churches, exactly. Yeah, can be also virtually net metered in the system. So, yeah. Significant increase. The company does not have a rate increase proposed. The increase is in standard offer default service that customers, if they don't go to a third-party supplier, we are required to give them a default energy supply.
So my expectation is that changes our analysis.
Well, the credits will be, absolutely. That increase of 2 cents is going to result in an increase of 2 cents per kilowatt for the credit for net meters.
We have to use a 3% increase in tariff. Those in our analysis. That doesn't like that's going to work.
Market to market, right? At the end of the day, this is the.
We need to know what that is. The second point is the tariff rate, which is actually what this is set for 20 years, but probably about year 15 is worse being feed tariff than it is net metering. Is there an opportunity for us to either see that go up or to switch from in tariff to net metering?
Every year the DG board reviews those DG contract prices, and every year they change. So once you go live, that's the price you get paid for the term of that contract. But they change every year. And the premise behind the renewable energy growth program was to drive the cost down as we've seen solar drop dramatically in price, so that the state can still have a lot of renewable energy, but at a price all customers in the ground can afford. So it's a separate proceeding. The DG board, it's completely separate from the company. We're taking it as one of the parties, but we don't do the math as to what those prices are. We're simply told here are the prices, and that's what we meant in our billing engine.
Well, that's the question. Once the year period or 15-year period finishes, you're allowed to keep.
That is something that folks have assumed, but that's 15 or 20 years away, and no one's made that decision.
Well, I've seen something like that for the DC law, so I'm sort of surprised that that's.
Well, it's a long ways away, right? I mean, let's face facts. The legislative agenda in Rhode Island has been very, very different over time. You've got multiple programs in Rhode Island that most states don't have. It's confusing for folks like you. That's confusing for us to figure out how they all work. But ultimately, the supposition is you would go to net. But is that meter at that point in time?
I'm working in the finance organization, they require me to do a detailed analysis in 25 years. I have to have a good answer.
If energy prices in 25 years, somewhere else than here, what happened? Right, crystal ball.
I'm required.
I don't disagree. However, we don't have any answer that I'm giving. Right? We know what the price of power is going to be next year. You know, what's going to happen? What other subsidies are going to be out there that we'll all have to pay for that are embedded? You know.
Same audience, your concern, I just want to squash any consideration by everyone on the program. There must be included for a 25-year period to show what the revenue would be over that period. Evidence of what that revenue is, customer.
Yeah.
One technical question. This would change out there version that you're in, twice a year.
Yeah.
Is that same right? Or is it different? So the usage changes each one of the years. And
Yeah.
swap it.
We would follow the same twice a year schedule for Schedule B, we call it in Rhode Island, not Schedule C in Mass, but the same sort of analysis for transit. Work to try to automate some of those allocation of credits internally, and a lot to that. And we have a billing engine that does a lot of things really well for low cost for 3.5 million customers between New York, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts. When you have one small program in one state, the cost to modify that engine can actually climb really significantly. But so we're looking at some automation. Hopefully, sometime later next year, we'll get a sense how that works. When we can automate it, then perhaps that frequency can change. But until that's in place, that's why we've got to insist on just twice.
And then the previous conversation, financial projects from developers, and there's an inherent risk and regulatory risk, and you have to come up with that in this business. And if you're like, it's not right, it's fully known to have it, even if it's state government or power source. If we invent fusion, retail drops a lot.
And ultimately, this is the second cycle of high commodity prices that we've seen since the forward batching market in 2009. Right, so we saw them go up, then come down. Now they're up again. Eventually, they'll go down again because now you'll meet the need at prices, and then they'll come back down again with the market. So you'll be credit vary sometimes by 2, 3, 4 cents kilowatt hour over time. No question over a 20-year term, they'll absolutely vary by a fairly significant amount. That's the jet time. Yeah.
So it's just a question on the computer in Rhode Island. So outside of school, the educational system works. So where you not generate more than you're able to do, so you're basically crediting on-site.
Yeah. Yep.
But if the abutting property, however, is also owned by the same building.
The owner, Joe's Body Shop, Inc., both of them, exactly, and they are abutting, they can transfer credits. The Joe's Body Shop, Inc., Joe's Body Shop, LLC, they can't. So they have to be abutting, no public way crossing between the facilities, they do have to be abutting.
On the expansion of many hospitals that are still private, they have
Owner of the land, so there'll be a lease in their name. All set for now, who's up next, John? I've got some of the details around the study, why we need that. Yeah.
Good everyone. My name is Daniel Velasquez. I'm a TV engineer. My group basically handles the more complex projects like 250 and above or something that is below that, but it's complex in the nature of it. So, to talk to you guys about the process, but I want to bring to your attention a couple of things that had changed. My current policy, our policy changed, and we're going to issue a new ESB very soon. I'm going to go over that in a very level. Sorry. Of course. So we are, as I mentioned before, our anti-alien policy changed last year. Basically, we gathered with a lot of industry experts, students with high penetration of TV, and other, the DPU and the PUC from Rhode Island. Basically, we tried to review rationale for different islanding schemes that were integrated into our system. So, for those of you who know, utilities require anti-islanding protection, where, basically to ensure that intentional islanding is not sustaining a feeder when a section of the feeder, substation, the feeder itself comes to get disconnected from the generation points. Basically, so the way the National Grid District handled that before was by customers to install that or the special grid. Basically, that gathering, they came up with some solutions and they issued a new amendment to the previous ESB. And this new policy will be included in the new ESB that is going to be effective September 1st. So, this change basically is to eliminate the cost and the complicated protection schemes for 90% of the projects. We believe that it aligns with the best industry practice. What to do is that in most cases, inverter-based projects will not require EPC. And again, we have a new screen criteria. And for most projects that will not be required, we're also going to, for generations, for projects without customer load PCC reclosure or point of common family reclosure by the required. Hence, basically, our criteria is based on the size. So, depending on your size of the project, it might require, it might not require. The change is that where closures are required, you will not be required. Again, that is everything is based on screening criteria. The other your attention is kind of go over like what previous zero is, right? That is like those. So basically, we have a lot of transformers in the stations and substations that the Delta Y connect, right? The nature of these transformers over here, when you have a lot of DG connected in the low side of the transformer. That's the nature of it. If you guys want later on to explain more detail, then you want directly, I can explain to you guys. But due to the nature of the transformer, over the current in the transmission side. So really in our studies, the approach that we use to evaluate these projects is that we compare the minimum generation of that substation and what the added DG to produce at the substation. We do evaluation by comparing the both. And depending on if we see a risk of over voltages, we might recommend the installation of capacitor coupled BTs, 59N protection, and control wiring for the substation. I don't know if you guys were aware, but I know ESB. It was issued in June. It's actually available right now on the web, and that will be effective September 1st. And that basically go over the major changes. The first one is that, I don't know if you guys were aware, but we have different across jurisdictions, our appendixes change a little bit. We try to keep it more consistent, we try to use the same practices among all different jurisdictions. This is a changing industry, so we just add a new revision cycle process. So every June we're gonna review our current ESB. We will also learn some technical requirements. I want to be clear with you guys too, because from our engineering perspective, they have just one document. It's a document that is interconnected with different standards. We actually follow all the ESBs, and everything is referenced in the ESBs, we refer to different standards such as IEEE 5047. We have all the types of documents that we also follow. It's not just the ESB. We have companies' latest best practices. For focus information and control, we basically align with what IEEE 5047 says. That's our rest. For islanding, I just mentioned it before, we have new methods of funding protection. Before we only, instead of running, we only have a couple of allowable interconnection schemes. Now we, again, everything aligns with what Massachusetts or different states are doing. For resident control, this is basically for active use. We distinguish and we clarify the language and where and how that will be required. So, great. Right, great.
Before we break, I just want to follow up on what Dan said. You know, the ESB is one document, and I think as with any type of business, right, educated customers, one of our best customers. So I want to read the ESB. It covers any interconnection, connection application, whether it's simplified right through the standard size, or the 10 megawatt projects. But it's important to do that. It's important to know the tariff and be true to the tariff. All of our staff is expected to, know documents. So again, talk about being in the business, the DG business. Can't emphasize enough how important it is to know business. Actually get into the tariffs, which attention not submitted, approved by the PUC. Want to put that in and advocate that everybody be knowledgeable of all these different documents that are available on our website.
And into that, section 3, the new business. So before it's really clear, now it's more clear that we follow the standards in the ESB that we follow. So I guess you guys can do it. And our group of components and standards are going to be having webinars. They're going to be coming to your so just thank you guys for that.
Targets and next, we have a situation where application that's a little bit about subsequent applications. I'd like to say what happens in Charles.
So we've got cost sharing in place, out of the tariff now. So customer number 1 comes in and their project requires 0, gets installed at the station. They're paying the full cost up front. Any subsequent customers that come online, I think it's period of price, the next range. Whether it's 5 or 10. But any customers that come in after that, we expect to pay the prorated share based on the size of the facility. And we're in to pay a certain amount of dollars based on that prorated share.
So if you're in for
I think what you're saying is like, if you're 3-0, what happens? You drop it, so.
Right. There's a needed trigger that doesn't get into. So it's up to National Grid to manage that transmission queue based on when you submit your application and ultimately what circuits you put on and connect to. To manage that queue. And quite honestly, with some of the reactivity and the increase of that applications that we see would be much more, we're expected to, the National Grid, have to, review applications in 10 days, right? Not you with any requirements. All the studies in 5 days, for an ISA, 15 days. So, the connected customer is also expected to bring their own projects within a certain amount of time. 10 days to, sign it, get back, and buy an invoice, 15 days to pay it, 4 business days. I think, very customer friendly and allows some of these time frames to, go beyond by the tariff, but with all the increased activity, becoming larger, you have some great time that's anxious to do the rest of the project. If you're not progressing the project, you do have cancellation policy, you'll start to see notices where in the past, we would have left with activity. We didn't feel the need to really enforce the tariff as it's, written, we haven't been doing that. Not already, we expect that we'll be, any notices that you're not progressing along for the tariff, send notices, about it later in the presentation, but we do have a petition, application portal that's, being mentioned, it's already implemented in other states. I don't want to steal George Susan's thunder because I'm talking about it, but it's meant to facilitate, applying connection, a lot of automated features, and one of those features is that automatically you'll receive cancellation notice. It won't be a manual effort. So the coming, so it's expected that we invest your work, your proposals.
Yeah, that's same question, maybe way. So let's say on a Monday, an application and it's basic, right?
Station for
Tuesday, two banks.
Wednesday, Wednesday.
Build it or not.
But the application is coming in.
Are you looking at that as taking this week's applications and see the details or anything else? Or say, I think that is question. We're going to start first one first, take it on Monday. That is right here. The rest of it doesn't get canceled, done. 2 minutes. We've already 3 intellectually online triggers.
Questions about the host for the applications.
Friday. And I need it. As opposed to stepping back and saying, wow, these all get built. Tell why they'll keep the concern.
This is not all one entity, it's all different developments. So actually, we don't know if the application is going to drop out. They run into permitting issues, environmental issues, all sorts of reasons that, there's, hopefully most people here know, is that, proposal doesn't, through an interconnection based on all different proposals having a successful project. So it is sequential, and that's again, if your Tuesday application, Tuesday applications aren't moving forward, you want that, you see them send the cancellation notice, I would think. Maybe the difference between costly modification or not. So that really benefits the interest of all of our interconnected customers. We really do need to manage the tariff.
A lot of times, level, having someone joins that position, that's kind of far down the line.
Policy.
As far as this network line, that is like.
Oh, yeah. That's come up, and we are experiencing certain. So, my staff of customer integration, they try to really let people know our name instead of just DG or technical sales, which wasn't intuitive. But in integration, working very closely with Dan and Slack's team, which is distribution planning and asset management. We monitor applications or if we're screening the action, we see something that looks like, hey, this could be a difficult incident. We want to inform you up front that, hey, this could be costly, it could be timely, and determine, hey, you want to go forward. We're going to make those notifications early.
Let's not forget, there is a requirement. Got to hold on. That's for free application. and there's 7 megawatts on that meter, well, you gotta take a step. You see 6 kilowatts on that meter, and the system won't be as expensive. That's also what I'm trying to say.
So pre-app report will help determine, or help you out with that, how much rolling you give.
Every month, the turns to the project on our website. See just what's going on in the area where you may want.
So the website post monthly updates.
Yeah, we have that up in all of our DG seminars, it's the DG website.
I can send it directly. Any little account, that account.
Saying is that in all our seminars, what it is difficult, right, but in all our seminars, again, we send out the deck, all those links within the deck. So again, you read the material, right? I like to do that, but I'm advocating, read the material, so.
Line one.
John, did I hear that? Lower.
Peter's like its own like limited factor. So we're connected to a 4 kV line. Basically, like you can over the capacity, you're not reach high currents right away. So it's like that, like we have that. The big factor would be like a closer to the substation or something, but that's basically that limited time. So we have like a low capacity, a low voltage. We don't have a lot of capacity.
Also, it also. Okay, so
Yeah, here Rolando, we don't have a lot.
4 kV lines. How many that are there?
is there any very low we should use?
And you roll it down with 4 kV lines.
That's a
Project dependent on the cost and the size. And how much saturation on the line.
Yeah, it kind of helps with that. That works. But see now, this can't, there's just much coming in. And just every single project changes, yeah. Again, it's still a lot of DG, and also, it's a lot of uncertainty about upgrades and that. New studies and all the rest is, we can't do projects screw up the neighborhood quality. Right? Bottom line. In lots of DG on a meter, you're gonna have voltage like that's at 2, right? We're gonna see 7% reduction in solar, 3 tomorrow on Monday afternoon with just in this area, in California, in New Hampshire, we're gonna see a drop in injection. We're gonna have to very quickly gas fire generation for an hour or so, and then there's a lot of issues that could fall on,
What took a detailed study?
A couple years ago, before we implemented the new DCT analysis, we would have a risk filing study that would be part of that detailed study agreement. President proposing a project that's 5 megawatts or greater. We can plan a transmission planning study if required. If that is to present that study to the ISO their ability to and that requirement, that's something the National Grid is required to do since those oversight. So it's really, by definition, again, then is additional engineering required beyond that. Yes.
I'm sold.
I don't know what's that, but there is.
Having really, they're just like getting them right now. Flickr is mainly like installation of regulars and like change regular settings, but in reality, once that's really that's the display for flickration stuff, and it's really complicated. It's at that point, so in some cases, I said it before, like changing the conductor or the regulators in the theater, it's a issue, but it's not something always going to work.
Upgrading the substation transforming,
Yeah.
installing new circuits. National Grid is, we're not going to get all business to make money, right? So this is to make money. That comes with a certain amount of risk. So we can tell you what the outcome is going to be, your proposed renewable energy project, so we can take an effect. There's money involved. It's that point that the customer feels that the risk, right? Like, it's a large project. You got upwards of, I don't know, $12,500 present fees that are right now. So $12,500 to determine whether or not a project is viable. That's just you take it. You may lose, but that's your choice. We're not going to come out and say, hey, this project is feasible. This project's not feasible, but it comes close. It could be upgrade substation transformers. It could be running a new circuit, then take the circuit. Very costly items.
PUC Nashua is working on a heat map. So the heat map will determine what is feasible, what areas you can install the DGs more likely easier.
What Doug's talking about is more of a hosting capacity map. You might have heard of these different market companies have. It actually puts geographic, you can kind of spot in the map, and then it'll give you essentially the output of a pre-application report. That will do. The challenge we have with those is that of the 400 megawatts in queue that we have here and right now, 300 and a huge amount of it is really various projects that can't even be fed in the local circuit. Right, our circuits are going to be 8 or 9 megawatts of load or 8 or 9 megawatts of generation. Right, we got a 9 or 10 megawatt net metering project, right? 10 megawatts net metering. It will be able to be served by the wire pressure front of the field. Well, that means something else in order to serve that project. The host actually map only works for those projects in those 50, 100, 200 kilowatt size that are really here. Then that's where that's going to be helpful. So that's the other policy decision internally that they these have to get through. Where they want us to invest time and resources developing investing that if the bulk of megawatts are actually massive solar. Or not, because it all doesn't depend on that. You probably heard we're filing a distribution delivery rate case, not commodity rate case, here this year, and that will be asking for funding to develop these. Some work that we've done in New York that's pretty interesting. We got a pretty good template. You know what we want to do and how to do it. And obviously it takes time to do what we normally have done here. So are looking forward to getting those maps up and running and I'll talk about the application board that's coming. It is okay. Okay. So I think the agenda is probably the best interest in everyone's time, so if you can take a short break. Back within 5 to 10 minutes.
Hi, folks. Everyone, my name is Omar Menardine. I am a member of our environmental disaster team, which is the National Grid Energy Procurement Department. I'm here to discuss the Rhode Island Renewable Energy Growth Program. Can I just get a show of hands of how many people have any kind of familiarity with the program. Okay, cool. So I'm going to just start off with a quick summary of the prior program year, the 2016 program year, and then move into the current program year, the 2017 program year, and then get into some of the mechanics and details of the line. So this program, just as like way of background, and introduced 40 megawatts a year over 5 years of DG to Rhode Island. So launched years ago in 2015, and last week was signed into law for an additional 10-year extension. For the 2026 program year, these program years run on national fiscal year, so April 1st of each year commences a new program year. 2016 program year, there's an allocation of 34.5 megawatts of in capacity for what I'll refer to as the projects greater than 25 kilowatts. And of that, we filled about 66% or 23 megawatts roughly. And you can see in the table there the breakdown of the projects that were selected, 30 projects, over the open enrollments we hold. The way the program works is any unused capacity is rolled over to the 2019 program year. For the small-scale solar, which was 5.5 megawatts target, you oversubscribe that class, and that was 7 megawatts. So there's an additional 1.5 megawatts used there, which takes the whole number to 10.1 megawatts that will transfer over to the 2019 program year. So the 2017 allocation, like 40 megawatts every year. All these numbers on the right column add up to 33.45 megawatts of capacity. The balance 6.45 megawatts is what was allocated to small solar, which is their projects that are 1 kilowatts or less size. So you'll see here that there was in 2017 there was the introduction of community remote DG. So there's a couple of community remote classes, commercial solar, and the wind class. Amount of the various renewable energy classes and the ceiling prices for each class. Now here, the medium scale solar is around 22.75 cents per kilowatt hour. So that's just a flat rate that everyone would get that's participating and accepted into the program. As all these other classes, you'll see the ceiling price column, and in one of those renewable energy classes are expected to submit a bid at or below those ceiling prices. 2017, this is the introduction of community remote DG. So these have their own classes. So if you're submitting a community remote DG project, you would need one of these classes that you would see evaluated against other applications for those technology classes. Summary of the to date, we've held, or not totally to date, from our first open enrollment. First open enrollment was held in April. Selected 15 projects for what we refer to as certificates of eligibility. For anyone that's unaware, it's not run on PPAs. There's no contracts. There's simply a set of tariffs and enrollment process rules that company files with the Public Utility Commission for their review and approval. So there are no contracts that govern this program, and there are questions which are this for and so these strategic projects, the certificate of eligibility is literally a document that demonstrates that you are participating in this program. It'll note a number of characteristics of your project, including the prices, the PBI, the performance-based incentives. So this is all from the first open enrollment we held in April. capacity weighted average PVI was 15.7 cents per kilowatt hour. I will note that it was about 15 megawatts that we built, so really strong first open enrollment. That's about 44% of our 30.45 megawatt target for the year. Second, so I had to correct myself earlier. Just in July, so we are still evaluating these projects. Second enrollment was held the last 2 weeks of July. Indeed, only 3 classes were affected in terms of the available capacity that was on offer. The 3 solar classes, the medium, commercial, large solar, those 3 numbers all were reduced. Everything else was untouched in terms of the enrollment, so the full annual capacity was still available for the second enrollment.
Yes. In our head, from there, what's likely to be available in the fall of their own.
I'm hesitant to do that just because that's based off only the first open enrollment. These numbers in the rightmost column were what was available for the July open enrollment, so it doesn't factor in any projects we'll accept after we finish our evaluation of projects from that open enrollment. To those mechanics of eligibility and applying for the program. I won't read all these off, but I will highlight one of the key requirements is at minimum an impact study, if not executed ISA or service agreement. And while the program is meant to purely streamline versus the predecessor program, which is PPA based. There are contracts involved, but a lot of this is, meant to be covered by tariffs and meant to be based on a lot of progress that's already been made by the time you're actually applying for the program. So the small solar, open enrollment, and it's meant to be streamlined. So for small scale solar projects, 25 kilowatts or less, the application is simply on your interconnection application. There's a you can designate on there that you want to participate in the program. It's just on an ongoing basis. There's no open enrollment, like the whole with projects greater than 10 kilowatts in size. So overall, we have what we call a pre-enrollment phase, which is, basically making sure you meet the eligibility requirements, and then you would apply via your connection application, and you're awarded eligibility, and you have 24 months to go online and achieve commercial operation and start receiving payments for your connection. I mentioned earlier that for the allocation of capacity of the 40 megawatts total for the year, it's segmented by the 33.45 for all those commercial classes. Small scale solar is a balance of 6.55 megawatts for 2017 into the various, host or third party owned classes and the performance-based incentives. So there's no bidding for these small scale solar projects. And as of July 1st, we filled about 27% of the annual enrollment target of 6.55 megawatts. That's the latest data I have. So you can assume by now it's that 27% number is higher. Here's some of the requirements related to that you'll need to achieve before you start payment. Small scale solar projects. The forms here that I'll just highlight is a REC assignment and aggregation certification form. National Grid has developed the aggregation for all these small scale solar projects. So applicants are required to complete and sign off on that form to basically give the company title to the renewable certificates generated from this project. And other projects these greater than 25 kilowatt size projects, some of the details on applying. I said it's, open enrollments, are the way to apply for participation in the program for these projects. So we have open enrollments, they're basically 2-week period when you can apply for the program. We hold the open enrollments for a year. Mentioned we already had the first in April, the second last month, and third will be this fall. And it's a web-based application to be just completed in one sitting. It's not fancy. There's no sign out or signature. If you look at our website, integrated.com/growth, you can see screenshots of what the application looks like in advance, so you have all your documents before you're actually applying. I'll just highlight here that the mid-scale solar projects, although you receive that fixed PDI, they do still need to apply via this application. Small scale solar, you have 24 months to achieve commercial operation once you're awarded eligibility for solar, for anaerobic digestion, 36 months, and for hydro projects, it's 48 months. Yes.
Okay. When you provide
we have at least a month, somewhere between a month and 6 weeks.
How much of the head first?
If you aren't already, I would suggest going to our website and joining our email distribution list. We'll ask that with the dates of when the open enrollment will be. And we'll put the post on our website, so the easiest and quickest way probably just getting on the email list. Finally, just an overview of the application process. As I just mentioned, you want progress made within the limits of the program before you apply. So again, at least an impact study, if not an interconnection service agreement. You want to make sure site control. Like program is meant to be streamlined, so we don't necessarily ask for all the underlying support. We won't ask for permits or leases so you have site control, but you do need to attest to it. So we consider it important, and we do believe that you genuinely do have all these things in place when you are attesting to them. So you want all that progress made, and then when the 2-week open enrollment complete the application, undergo our project selection. There are performance guarantee deposits required for all projects, aside from small scale solar and medium scale solar projects. That deposit will be due within 5 days of us offering you the certificate of eligibility or an offer to participate in the program. And we are required, we the company are required to projects other than medium scale solar projects required to file those certificates of eligibility with the commission. So medium projects we can just award directly to you. We will file with the commission. They have up to 60 days to review and rule on certificates of eligibility. And then 24 months for solar to go online where you can start receiving payment. Yeah, again, I would just join our list. We'll attend it probably 2 weeks. Traditionally, we've held it in October the past 2 years, but I'm not guaranteeing that. No, it's for anything aside from small scale solar or medium scale solar. It's quarterly, yeah, once you achieve commercial operation. And just in closing, it was mentioned earlier, but just just want to emphasize, start early with your impact study and getting that progress, because again, that is minimum that you would be participating in this program, as well as familiarizing yourself with the tariffs and rules that govern the program. They're available at trade.com/regrowth, so you can look at them there.
And now we're going to talk about shared solar and remote PG. The small and medium scale installations, they would share their bill credits and with other electric service accounts. Privately, it was actually for the multifamily and multi-business buildings. It received the same TIs as the arrays of the same size, similar to the bill. It would have to be in the same customer class, either residential or commercial, on the same or adjacent parcel of the land as the generator. You have 2 recipients and no more than 50. And you provide all bills and county to application. The option 2, which is again a combination of and cash. If the monthly generation exceeds the sum of the on-site use, they'll receive the allocation equal to on-site use. Otherwise, they would be a percentage of the generation. And you limit it to the 3-year annual use, the same as the and that's we had it and tried to do an estimate of what we could determine. Credit, and it provides you kilowatt-hour charges. The cap would be the CDI less the sum of the bill. CDI is what's on the certificate of eligibility, similar to program. The community remote PG, it's sharing the credit. It's on the value of credit, it's competitive price, and separate classes for the community. It has to be greater than 250, but for and 1 megawatt for wind. Site control. You have either your impact study or your interconnection agreement, and pay a deposit on the acceptance of the certificate of. Our program has at least 3 recipients, but not limited to the number of recipients at that. And have 50% of the credit to customers at rate. Go more than 50% of the credit can go to anyone. Some of it go to one customer, but not more than 50% go to one customer. Monthly basis that it is calculated. So this during a month is equal to the current month's generation plus any generated kilowatt hours not allocated. Calculated and allocated to the recipient during a 12-month period that coincides with the growth. The generation exceeds what is in the receipt for the recipient. Each recipient will receive a allocation kilowatt hour allocation equal to on-site use. Like bill credit, and bill credit can be calculate each credit monthly. kilowatt hours. Alt bill credit rate. Which of the standard offer, the transmission, the transition. That's how the rate is calculated. And it's service. If there's payment, the duration, the total PBI payment, will be reduced by the sum of the recipient's bill credits by the default rate on unallocated kilowatt hours. Remaining PBI will be paid to the designated payment. End of each program year, allocated credits in the banking accounts will be cashed out at the real lead participant from the ISO and real time in the course of the year, whichever is left. Of the calculation, so you have the size of the 500 kW, put 113,000 hours. So one customer can receive 50% up to their 3-year annual average. Recipients have to receive more than 25 kW. The way it is calculated. We're going to send all these slides out so you can ask questions. Yes? Each customer is $10.99. Each customer gets $10.99. Next one.
That says for go below 200 kilowatts. There is 3-year average that we look at the max. If it generates more than that, what happens? An outreach, just a general outreach. I've heard this problem, but I don't know where that.
Because over between 100 and 25%, yes, you're
renewable energy generation, right? So now bring on the side. Is there a point at which this is being activated? In other words, you're going to look generation over the year of some customer and decide that you generate more back. Then back. Yes.
Look at per year and determine what's there. If it goes to more than 20%, by law we would give it back.
Like 12, 20. Like that, and I'm going to run it.
Which has a very extra supply. Well, there's no credits from CRTG. They get the credit for it.
Really just 30% tax credit. You can't cut it. Even no flyer, cents on it go. Max value, customer get the bill problem. The bill flyer, customer request, yes, they did. Yeah.
So I'll be talking to you guys about SolarWise. So we created SolarWise for the customer so that they can learn about their potential while still dealing with the growth policies. Have an assessment shopping tool. So to be able to have to maximize the performance of energy efficiency upgrades along with then going into having solar. So there are fiscal year. But from April 2016 to March 2017, was that had 901 during my time. For our solar participation, we had 500 cuts be screened for the solar accessibility during RISE audit. And from that, 116 members of the group to the marketplace to register. And 26 customers actually go through commission sales, which covers them using the marketplace for their solar installation. For the bonus applications, it was 6 customers filled the agreement and received the bonuses. In 6, it then begins to redesign. And we are right now in the redesign. They need to simplify. The system is a little bit more complicated than it needed to be. What we want to do is basically increase the solar marketplace so the customer can get more money. Still have the E and D on a monthly basis. So some of them propose is a program. We're going to remove bonus tiers of the complicated application process. We're also remove the solar 300, which said that according to energy efficiency, it's going to be reduced from efficiencies. You have them redesign their solar plan. Instead, we can have the regular Rhode Island policy in place for these customers. And so we're going to launch a marketing campaign to the Rhode Island residents to have them go through the channels of benefiting both heat and solar. Customer benefits, that basically continue to simplify the process, build their energy efficiencies for solar, and have them go through the energy stage marketing. Because we know that the energy stage allows for lower costs overall because of the competition that's there. It's for the solar installers. There's also a reduced cost as more customers start moving to marketplace for the system. And then customers will also still receive the PVI as or through the regroup. So this is a quick picture of our solar marketplace. So the customers themselves can go on and put in their address and see their own solar potential. And on the other side is the actual marketplace where they can online quotes, they compare, they can kind of do their own little personal shopping. And also the vendors have already been vetted, so the customers can feel a little bit safe knowing that have a company having 10 credentials needed to be fulfilled to be part of their marketplace. So by the end of this month, we're actually going to submit UC our proposed changes. So in the meantime, customers can still apply to be part of this. So we to the PUC, they suggest otherwise. So customers can still continue to go through the application process and become part of the bonus tiers. And they can continue the marketplace element to kind of continue and even promote the growth.
Yes. To go ahead and send them some use energy savings. All kinds of delays approval by 3 months. Get approval at the lower rate.
In the redesign that we don't want to be a stalled process for $4. The incentives only got 6 customers to go through.
But my point is that all these others I was helping to delay the process.
If you just don't do it because
I won't get the incentive at all.
Because it's manipulation. And the bonus phase, but still going to be part of regrowth. And still through the PBI.
Bonus PI.
So the solar-wise bonus here to go to solar.
And the benefit of the solar wise program to the homeowner is implement efficiency measures
requirement. It's no requirement, that's what it is. Here.
Point of the, program, what's the benefit to the homeowner?
This is regrowth.
But the home energy audit, they're getting informed on their techniques on energy efficiency. What's going to be presented to them, so that they choose SolarWise program that works without an additional PV. They're already going to be in the regrowth. I guess just what's the difference between you, just SolarWise, and your customer's got a home energy audit, participated in the regrowth outside of SolarWise. What is the difference?
Really different. We basically kind of need to go to the requirement. If they want to encourage them. If it's energy efficiency, you can build a solar straight. But if they don't want to do it, okay. They still participate in solar process. That's the market is always open to all. Rhode Island, it wasn't just those big price so energy and solar.
So the difference for the customer is the advantage of the marketplace, here in the state marketplace.
Because it's open to anyone, so it's not just, so now we don't have the solar line. Customers and resource customers, then we just have resource who pay on the solar line back.
Or they would have to and then size. So,
Yep.
and now you can just.
We'll still be at oversized. We'll still be according to
Oh,
the.
but they won't be paying any energy because they have.
Right, if they do decide to go for energy efficiency, and an adjustment instead of whatever, we're not required to have a shop once they have on the side of the just for the 2 ever, the 3 months, the 3 years.
So they have to keep tagging up to realize that's not.
We're going to do energy efficiency, but don't have to. Before we did. So now the requirement of the one and the next is no longer present.
Yeah, and so. There's a lot of potential questions. I am having this problem on this house, but I just program that will prepare energy efficiency for like
Boards.
We are trying to encourage that. Because other people
Question was, home energy started boards.
without getting that. So they already have that kind of happening, so why for it?
It's a really good idea.
It is a good idea, but it's a good idea, and we really thought it was going to work, but it didn't turn out to be as beneficial. Or to the solar, it's all it is.
Sure. Yeah, in my, correctly, the thing that was not making the program work was requiring energy audit.
Because the energy efficiency audit went through and had customers do their on-site solar-wide audit, and it just triggered it as the solar sales for those customers who did get the audit going forward and getting installed.
So the problem was that audit was not enough, yet actually people were sure that it's done and then downsize. Harm that you don't downsize. So I think it's a great idea. You have to tell people that if you do audit and says you're going to downsize, go for it. But if you already you check out things it's nothing. You do that on the other way.
We're doing a low rate and give it once afterward. So, questions, around it. We started, versus,
on energy efficiency, then you can do this. And I think in the long run, that international saving money, not in one area.
I think one thing that's gotta be really important, that you know, if you do those things, then you're not gonna get today. That's something
We're gonna save money by spending less on solar systems, then you can spend less on, leftover energy usage that your solar doesn't cover. So overall, the home energy usage is going down, the money, and then the solar system size to cover that usage goes down, and then you get money.
worry about.
But it just puts the requirements out, and I guess a lot of the complications.
There's nothing to with that, we were seeing that not all of the customers were maximizing. Weren't going to their limit. They were kind of understanding, so even if they did do the energy efficiency, if they reduced their own usage, it would still kind of work out in the long run. But they weren't maximizing. Due to whatever reason, science, sometimes it's a bit, it's not just many panels out there. So it's really kind of one of those things that the customers that we were taking tracking items weren't maximizing to begin with. So even if you energy efficiency, but they do, they will go to the long run. Kind of walk through the first bill. The bill that we're going to look at is for regrowth. And options for regrowth billing, there's option 1, which is only available to commercial customers. And we have generators, but no on-site use, or they choose to not transfer the credit to their on-site use. So you'll have one meter here, and I have option 2 as well, which is mandatory for residential customers. Commercial customers can choose option 2 as well. We'll have 2 meters on site for option 2, and the first meter measures your use, the second meter will measure your generator output. Customer will receive a bill from National Grid for the on-site use, and the bill will include the PV credits based on the output. The credits only get applied to certain charges: the distribution, energy efficiency, renewable energy distribution, transmission, and energy. Of what option 1 will look like on your bill. And so here is your invoice for your live heat charge, regrowth, and customer charge. It will also reflect what your PBI payment is going to be for that bill. Shows how the PBI credits are applied to specific charges. And here the charges for the on-site use, and how the PBI payments are applied to those charges. What your PBI payment will be. So your cash payment is paid via electronic transfer or paper check, and credit does not remain on the account they get an actual check. Something else to talk about when. But maybe that's in the next section. This next section is just for net metering in the first bill, so it's a little bit different. And your net metering credit is worth. So we'll just pass on by. The credits generated on the account will be carried forward and used in subsequent months. Municipalities, cities, and towns can transfer their credits using a Schedule B, like Tim spoke about. Estimated generation in kilowatt hours of the eligible net metering system. We need the 3-year average historical usage. And usage for any net metered accounts that will be receiving the credit. Addendum is used to allocate the net metering credit from those accounts. To Rhode Island municipality or state agencies. Prices are calculated using components of the retail rate on the host account. If it's on the rate of the host account. Back in the
for transferring specific dollar amounts, it's only based on a percentage allocation. So like on your bill. So the net export will appear in the meter usage section and credits appear in the delivery services section. So I have some screenshots of that also. So this information of credit will look like. What will it look like to see the credits transferred from the host account and the target account? So the host account just shows the transfer credit with the dollar amount, and the target account just shows the transfer credit and amount in a value. So the numbers don't show up on the host account, and on the target account, the host numbers don't show up either on the bill. That's how it will appear on that bill. So the top one is what your bill will look like as the host customer. It will show as debit, and on the target customer, it will show up as credit, just a line item transfer credit. So it doesn't say that the net meter credit. It doesn't specify, unfortunately, what type of credit it is. Just credit. See the first transfer of credit. So it's a month after you get your PTO. The accounting group transfers the credit. It's a manual process right now, so it takes some time. We aim to have them transferred within 2 weeks after the host account bills, and following month that target customer will see the bill, the credit on their bill. So sometimes there's a delay in them seeing their credit. Customers can also log on to our website and they can get a real-time balance of their. So what date will the transfer occur? Customers and target customers may not be in the same billing cycle, so transfers from 1 month, like I said, might not show up until the following month. Schedule fees can be changed twice a year, and we try to apply your new schedule fee within a cycle. You get it to us the day before the account bills, it probably won't get applied until the following billing cycle. So I didn't have the part in there that talked about when the PTI payments are made, but I believe it's at the end of each month. So you bill at the very beginning of the month showing what your PTI payment is going to be, but you won't actually get that until the end. Does anyone have any questions? I'll have to update that one. Yes, I'll have that.
Good morning. For those of you that missed it, I'm George Souza, manager of the Customer Solutions Group at National Grid. For those of you that don't know, the application that you submit that goes in through email might be first high-level screening to pass off to see nothing. Where it needs to go, but all scale stuff stays right. So all you 25 feet up your below might handle that. Going around the Rhode Island regrowth program, you might for another. I know Doug has a pretty good relationship. To give you guys kind of a high-level overview of things to come, and changing the way that you interact with National Grid, like hoping it much better. We are launching an app portal. The app portal will be available in 2017 for a simplified application. A couple months back, we did have me and our Providence office, a few people were invited to join the discussion. The app portal will be available to everyone. Again, starting with simplified applications, which is, residential applications. Great success with it. We did launch it in New York already for our New York our territory, and it's pretty, not going to lie. It's right through the steps as you start filling it out. It'll ask you key questions, verify the customer, verify the account. The way it's going to be built out is that 3-year average usage. We're going to put that right in, so that way when you start filling in the system, your proposed system, it'll let you know if the system product. So if you send something in, it's 15 feet out, you and our system generated saying it should only 12. It'll do morning. But it's changed kind of the way that you do business with us, right? Instead of taking those documents, scanning them, putting them together, and firing it off to us, you can go through the app portal, fill out the application online, upload your documents online, and like, I've done a lot, but so, they can like it. So Doug can set up his company, and he can set up who his users are. His users will be able to see the applications and view. He'll be able to run reports against that. What do I have pending with National Grid? Right here, relying on an email reply from us, right? When approval is granted or wanted to meet it. You're gonna get real-time updates. You know when site group looked at that application and progressed to the next step. You'll get email notification saying, hey, take a peek at this, or it'll outline what happened to it. But then log in and actually see that customer's application very scanning. That's really what it comes down to. What we've gotten for a lot of feedback from developers is that when I think how much you'll find it we're going to communicate too much. That balance. Should be going in that direction as well. In the spring of 2008, clearly, what is built down there than there is in the simple world. This is what you're going to see. You log in. There's going to be much. Very high. This is essentially what you're going to see. There's a couple of boxes, right? Preparing to apply, so that's that as your general question. There'll be enough spaces built into this. If you have questions about how to apply or what program, you'll click on how to preparing to apply. And on that, we'll have all the different tariffs, all the links that you may need to figure out exactly you want to build. Setting up an account, or setting up your account, or a vendor will be part of this, and actually going through the application. So not for you with all the details now. Put this on your radar, you know that it's tough. We will have training for everyone. We'll notify you. We'll be part of our pilot program so that we can get some real feedback from you and things you'd like to see. You know, and where we can, we'll make adjustments. I think overall you're going to find this is going to simplify the way they interact with National. All of your products right there, you'll be able to, like I said, run reports, figure out where things stand. When there's something put on hold, for example, we'll got a document again. You'll be able to see it. So, yes.
So that's great, the 3-year average usage for that account will show up on the application. Single accounts that every year is going to be very low. For the existing account with, support usage, they have and now you can change the process to say that change your usage change.
So it's not going to be a hard stop, right? So I'm thinking you a hard stop and bounce the application back out, and you're looking at this table. How do you get that?
So the way we program the web page, we made the usage change, it's not change with this line.
So there'll be a comment section where you can put in your notes about why this is size will exceed.
We download documents like a usage report.
Usage report, no, so that usage calculation is going to happen in that.
Well, no, I'm sorry. What we created this is a document we created internally for the homeowners.
Like a load sheet.
Will there be like a section to download documents?
Upload documents to us, absolutely.
Sorry.
So all of your documents that we require to submit to us, they'll be step by step. There'll be different places where you upload the specific ones. Or any documents you may have that require customer signature, that type of thing. Even if it's for large scale solar, you'll be able to do games right.
Like receipts that are now required.
electric cars, looking at and justify expertise and actually level and, yes, sir.
You think we'll be getting paid?
Yes.
Credit card or?
Electronic, so we're working with JP Morgan Chase as we speak, develop the interface that builds. And be able to prepare
Massachusetts,
all of
same time frame?
all England, fall 2017, for collects, spring 2018. Right, by an installer, we'll notify, anything that we notify, the same type of format that we're using now will remain the same. So when we notify a customer and an installer with a specific milestone that's been reached, the same communication will go up. They may be different in terms of, or I should say, the content will be the same. It'll be who's it coming from, right? So that instead of saying distributed generation at nationalgrid.com, it'll be MCAP, right? National Grid Customer Application Portal. And it'll have the case number. Instead of calling it a work request, it'll be called a case number. So a case number and the details of what transpired in that event. So yes, everybody will still be notified the same. We're not going to wait. We're adding. Right, so the process will know exactly where. There's actually more contacts available, than there was in the past. In the past, we used, pretty much, we were looking for the solar installer and the customer. There's a solar installer, he wants to know every single application that's going through his business, but he has a team lead and two other people that are work projects. He wants all of them notified anytime something happens on any of his projects. He can include those people on his projects. It's based on the application, the type of information that you provide, and how you set up that specific applicant or the applicant. Doug, so the city's application, so the city won't be able to see Doug's application. You're still only limited to your own project. But this will give you much visibility to your own project. So, spot check your own business, right? If you're doing all of this stuff, your database, you should download the files, make sure that everything, that things sync all the applications you thought you submitted to us. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a learning curve, right? Because it's different than what we've done. And it was a little bit of a learning curve in New York territory, too, but all the feedback that we've got. So, here's a great way to look at it. Daily basis, we track how many applications are still submitted via email versus the app for New York. In the first couple of weeks, that we launched the New York app portal, I was about 50. 4 weeks, 5 weeks, I have not seen one submission in this email. The app portal is really, believe me, it's going to change the way that we do business. You're going to enjoy having that flexibility of knowing exactly where things are. The customer calls you, can log right in, the customer can log in. That's the customer, right? The customer can have their own login, see where we stand on it. When there is ordered, when the meter is scheduled to be installed, it's going to be right there. Concerns? Anybody see it? Guys, we're coming out with an app portal. Yes. Yeah, Prius will be part of that too. All right, I think it's back to John.
presentation. We're going to take questions from those conference calls in a second. Any other questions here in the room?
Yeah, these are more line of usage-wise. So, cover calculation tools being used to help calculate a system's production. Any tools or any calculations that you use for system production?
I don't know. We have a lot of installers and developers here. Isn't that up to the developer to know that?
They can access pdwatch.com.
Yeah.
Probably good indication of system.
And that would tell the 3-year history of load usage as well?
No, that's not a great question. All right, you rephrase the question, right?
No, that's the second question.
Okay. So as far as the 3 average, presently, I don't know, George, you want to comment on that one?
Yeah, I can jump in on that. So right now, the way that average is, the easiest way for anybody to get the 3-year average is actually to set up an account online with a little bit. So like a personal account, if I log in there, I can see my 3-year average usage, or my 3-year usage history in that average, right? I have 12 months. We can look at a customer currently has you sign up and sign a form giving authorization for us to release that to you. One of the common questions that we have about it, and I didn't think that this was really relevant, but apparently it is. A lot of people, a lot of the heartache, it sounds like, that we get is really to a customer that is only living in the house for a year. What about buyer, what about the buyer a year? Well, we can't really give information about a customer who help on us giving you authorization, right? So, like, you have a deal with John, and John's only been living there a year. I used to own the house. I didn't sign off on giving you information. John did on his information, right? So, from a customer security perspective, we can't really give you that. Now, can we help you sign out? Absolutely. 1 or 9 months, annualize it, come up with what 3-year average should be. Like, I don't know how you guys do this, but I'm assuming that the day that the guy signs, the applicant signs, you're building the system that day, right? You're probably putting all the paperwork together to get an idea. Let's use that. So let's use that 9 months. Let's use the 9 months, annualize it, come up with what the 3-year average would be. Submit your application based off of that. Once screening team looks at it, we'll look at the prior customer for you and figure out if that's going to work. We're not talking huge swings, right? Really, we shouldn't be talking about, John's usage being 11 KW and the prior person, applying for a 4 KW system. But if that's the case, then we'll obviously give more weight to John's prior 9 months. I know that we run into some issues with that 3-year average.
I would think you'd want to go off your existing customer. They've been there 9 months. Or it could have been, and just now you get a family in there.
We will
there's no crystal ball. So I think
we will give more weight. We will give more weight to people that are living there. It becomes more challenging when it's somebody who's been there 3 months, right? That's more challenging, right? But I think on behalf of the National Grid, I think we do pretty well to kind of work with you as far as trying to determine that average usage has been. But for the most part, the easiest place is if you have a customer that's willing to set up an account line, most of that, right? If you're willing to set up, you have all 3 years of their use.
we have no further questions. That's it? Okay, again, finished a little bit early, so any other questions? Once, twice? For the seminars, right?
All right, thanks everyone for joining. This end of the DG Summer slide. Thank you for joining. We'll try to work on this, try to get this on YouTube as well. If there's any improvements there on how things are, you know, we always submit a survey to National Grid, or request or requirements to approve this as well, will be fairly accepted. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.